Carol, please make a choice. One is to sign this paper. Two is to have everything but lose your family. It's nice, Carol. All of Simon's assets are in my name. Ivan, hurry up and make her vanish from this world.
Run away, Miss Carol.
Henry, you're not Simon's son. You're Ivan's son.
What's wrong with her? Carol! Wake up! Carol!
I'm sorry, Mr. Daniel. I need to take you away.
Mrs. Susan. Mr. Simon has foreseen this problem. And you can't inherit his property either. And the inheritance belongs to Mr. Daniel. Only him.
Episode 22, Critical Situation.
Mr. Lawyer, what do you say? Carol has transferred all of Simon's assets to me. Why can't I inherit?
Mrs. Susan. Everything is clearly stated in the law and on paper. Mr. Simon has written it very clearly. If Miss Carol transfers, everything is void. And the inheritance will belong to Mr. Daniel. Mr. Simon. Why do you have this intention? Don't you trust Miss Carol?
I always trust Miss Carol. But she is a good girl. I'm afraid. Some people won't let her go. If they do, then this decision of mine will be a counterattack to them.
What?
Mr. Simon said so. So, Mrs. Susan. It seems I have to disappoint you.
Hey, Mr. Lawyer. Wait.
Mom, why is that? Dad always doesn't trust you. We've done everything up to now. And get nothing.
Simon. He lied to me. He only trusted Daniel. And that poor girl Carol. And I've been his wife for 20 years. He still doesn't trust me. He doesn't trust Henry too. Daniel. So he finally got all the assets. If so... Hello, Jenny? You got Daniel, right? Do everything as I said. He can't survive.
What? Mrs. Susan. You only asked me to arrest Daniel. Why do you change this decision?
He already has all the assets. Why should I keep him alive?
But... Mrs. Susan, I think you should calm down. Maybe someday, he will be worth something.
But...
Believe me, Mrs. Susan.
Susan, calm down. Don't act recklessly.
But we've lost everything.
Don't worry, Susan. That lawyer. Just give him the money. He'll help us change some things.
What do you say?
I'm a lawyer. I know these things very well. Don't worry.
Ivan. Thank you. You're the one I trust.
Mom. I think we should stop.
What do you say, Nora?
The more we do, the more we break the law. We can't do that, Mom. I'm scared. Mom.
Nora. You're a foolish girl. You haven't helped me at all. What are you afraid of? We're at the end of the road. If we don't go on, we won't have a penny. Do you understand?
Carol! How are you, Carol?
Miss Rose! Where am I?
This is my house. You fainted on the street. I called a taxi and brought you here.
Miss Rose! I have to leave. If I stay here, you will be in danger.
Miss Carol! What happened?
It's a long story. I can't tell you yet. Hello, Miss Rose.
Mrs. Charlotte. You arrived.
I investigated at your request. Miss Rose. This woman is...
This is Mrs. Charlotte. She is one of the shareholders of the Boston Corporation. It is one of the big corporations in this city.
Sorry, but I only play a small role. My husband Lucas is the big shareholder of the corporation. However, I'm not interested in business. I set up a detective agency to help those who need help. Miss Rose, I have investigated for you. It's all in this document. Please see. This girl. It seems like you're in trouble, right? Yes, Mrs. Charlotte. I don't know how to handle my problems. Can you tell me? Carol, I can't interfere with your business. But I have a few advice for you. Trust yourself, and everything will be fine. Back in the day, when I was a chef for the Boston family, I was always hated by Mrs. Iris. After going through many things, I found my own happiness. I believe you can do that. I have to go. Thank you, Mrs. Charlotte. Miss Rose, what did you ask Mrs. Charlotte to investigate?
Oh my God! I can't believe it. That man Simon in the hospital. He had a first wife. She was Erica. And why does she look like me?
Miss Rose. This picture. It's obviously you.
Wait! Could it be? You're Mr. Daniel's mother.
Daniel? This name is familiar. Where have I heard this name?
Miss Rose. Mr. Daniel is your son.
What did you say?
You are Mr. Simon's wife.
Oh my God!
Mr. Daniel. You are awake.
Jenny! Why did you tie me up?
I'm sorry, Mr. Daniel,
Please let me go!
but I have to follow Mrs. Susan's orders.
What? You were sent by Aunt Susan to approach me!
That's right, Mr. Daniel. Because I have the same face as Julia. Mrs. Susan gave me $1 million. As long as you are here, Mrs. Susan will not be afraid of anything.
You are crazy! Why did you listen to her?
Because I need money. $1 million is a lot of money. It will change my life. Mr. Daniel, you should thank me. Mrs. Susan said I would kill you. But I told her to let you live. So you can live a few more days.
You're crazy!
Be good here, Mr. Daniel.
Simon. We meet again. It's late now. The hospital is asleep. And I bribed the whole hospital. So I can get in here. Simon. I don't think you're so evil. You never considered me your wife. We've lived together for 20 years. But in your heart, there's only Erica. You've never forgotten her. I hate you. I tried to have Henry. But it turns out, in your eyes, Henry is not as important as Daniel. I didn't understand you, Simon. I trusted you too much. I believed that as long as I loved you, you would love me forever. But I was wrong. I did everything to get into this family. I harmed Erica. I was pregnant. I had Henry. But in return, what did I get? I got nothing. I got zero. Oh my God.
Susan, don't talk to him anymore. This is his end.
That's right, Ivan. Ivan. You do it.
Okay, Susan.
Simon, this is what you have to accept. You can't escape that. Because your fate now is belong to me. Simon, I hate you. So, I don't want to see you again. Goodbye, Simon. A man who I loved. But this was foolish love.